Hi, welcome back to Food and Culture. This week we're learning about the Araboy. For centuries, Arabs have shared food and used it to connect with others. It brings communities together and it's a way of staying connected to your own community. For example, in recent years, festivals have popped up and become more and more popular. Food is a good way of staying connected to your homeland without actually being in your homeland. Why else would we feel so comforted by it? Let's talk about hummus. The food's so good, people actually make songs about it.
I'm eating hummus. Paste, about that paste, that hummus. I'm all about that paste, that hummus.
Hummus is now a dish that's very popular around the world. The main reason for its popularity is the mass production and Arab diaspora throughout the world. Another reason for its popularity is the fact that countries have literally fought over the ownership of hummus. So, how would you be able to actually make this delicious dish? Well, I'm about to show you. You're going to need boiled chickpeas, 1 clove of garlic, 2 lemons, salt, tahini, and olive oil. Start by putting the boiled chickpeas in the food processor and turning the processor on. Keep in mind that this amount of chickpeas is not going to make a lot of hummus. So if you really want to make a lot, double, triple, quadruple the recipe. There are many ways of making hummus. This is just my family's way of making it, more my mother's way of making it, but you basically make it your own. Once you have the basics, you know the ingredients, you can add as much salt, lemon, olive oil, tahini, as much as you want in your own hummus. Traditional Arabic recipes, such as this one, don't actually come with measuring cups, measuring spoons. It's more by sight and by taste. The more you mix in olive oil, the more it's going to taste like olive oil. If you mix in too much lemon, it's going to be way too overpowering. Same goes for salt, tahini, and anything else you put in. So it's really finding that balance between all the ingredients. As you saw, I put the juice from 1 lemon in just to help mix the chickpeas a little more. I just put the salt as well. And I'm about to put some olive oil and some tahini into the mix. Olive oil is a very important ingredient used in the Mediterranean and in the Arab world. It's used mostly in Levantine cuisine, but it's also used in most Arabic dishes as well. It also has a very important significance for Palestinians because it is a symbol of freedom for them. Their olive trees are very, very important to them. Once all the ingredients are mixed in together and they're mixed in well and smooth, you're done. And there you have it, a beautiful hummus bowl. It's important to know that when you make food for people coming over, you need to make an abundance of it. That way you're seen as a good host and not a cheap one, which unfortunately can happen. So to save you from embarrassment, here's how to make tabouleh. 2 of the main ingredients of tabouleh are tomatoes and parsley. You'll also need an onion, 2 lemons, olive oil, salt, pepper, and some sumac. You're going to want to separate the stems from the leaves of the parsley like I'm doing here. Next, you'll need to dice the tomatoes into small enough pieces. Now you'll see that my knife skills are not very good, but as long as they resemble small cubes, you should be fine. to take your onion and you're going to dice it as well. So you're going to chop off both sides and peel it properly before starting. Now, I really struggled with tears while chopping this onion, so enjoy this short little break while I recover.
Tabouleh, tabouleh, tabouleh makes me shake, shake, shake.
And we're back. So that's what your salad should look like now. We're going to move on to the lemons. So I squeezed quite a bit of lemon for this, but you really only need 1.5. Now you're going to take your beautiful olive oil and you're just going to pour a significant amount in there. So the red spice here is actually sumac. It's kind of a lemony spice. The other one is just salt. I did also put a little bit of pepper in there just to balance out the sourness. Then you're going to put some berjol, which is basically wheat, and you're just going to mix it all up. And there you have it. There is your appetizer size bowl of tabouleh and hummus. As I said earlier, you're going to need to make a lot more if you're having people over, and I'm talking about enough to feed the city of Beirut and possibly also Boumassoud. Who is Boumassoud, you might ask?
عمي بومسعود عيونه كبار وسود بياكل ما بيشبع عمي بومسعود.
Now that dinner is over, it's time to talk about dessert. In the Arab world, there are many different types of dessert that are offered after a meal. It could be anything from knefe to atayef to baklava. These types of desserts are usually very sweet, so it's typically served with Turkish coffee, Arabic coffee, just to help with the sweetness. However, many Arab countries are caving into Western influences, and they're enjoying different types of coffee as well, such as cappuccinos, lattes, just regular black coffee that we have here in Canada. The Western influences don't just stop there though, they also affect the fast food chains. This, for example, is a ad from Burger King in Lebanon. Despite the Western influence on the food in the Arab world, Arabic food is thriving everywhere else. It is becoming more and more popular due to increasing diasporic movements due to war in the area. It is also increasing because people don't want to lose their heritage once they leave home, and home is where the good food is.
يا هم العمر يا دمع الزهر يا مواسم العصافير نطرتك أنا
I'm gonna take this. that was on video, so I'm gonna have to